Hello everyone, welcome back to this YouTube channel Globexa Immigration. This is Jitender Grover. Today we have Mansi with us from Trinity Western University, and we are doing Trinity Western University extensively, especially for master degree programs. There are so many master degree programs, and we are preferring Trinity because there is no issue of PAL, visa acceptance rate is on higher side, and if someone wants to go towards Vancouver, in that case Trinity is one of the best choices. So today we would like to clear many things related to master degrees and Trinity Western University from Mansi. So first of all, Mansi, thank you so much for accepting our invitation for this particular video. To start for this session, why Trinity Western University?
Hi everyone. So first of all, there are different type of factors that make very much demandable for a university for international students, and specifically talking about Indian students because we have a larger community at TW for Indian students. Other than that, we have students across of all nationalities, which makes a TW a very diverse community for all the students to have their education further. Then the major factor is that it is our university is in British Columbia, Vancouver, which is one of the greatest locations right now and very much in demand for the PR options as well. Talking about small class sizes, because in India we at university also we have these 30 to 40 students of class size, wherein majority time the professor won't even know the student's name. But at TW we only have like the largest number of class size in each class is 25. So basically 21 is the last option, and if there are a lot of students in that particular program for a specific intake, then only after program director's approval we will allow till 25 there will be students studying, so that they can have one-to-one interaction with the professors, and the professor will know that how a student is doing in their particular classes or their assignments. And other than that, the last factor is affordability. So basically, in comparison to private colleges also, we as a university are providing tuition fees in comparison to other private colleges are very much affordable for international students. So a student who is going to 21 to 25 lakhs, if they are going to pay for a college degree in Canada, they can complete their entire course, their entire master's degree in that amount at TWU, which makes it very much affordable for international students.
So there are advantages of smaller class sizes and fees also affordable. We are going to discuss more on the fee, but before that, there are two campuses of Trinity Western University, and what are these campuses and which campus is preferred by the students in most cases?
So at TW we have two campuses, which is Langley and Richmond. Langley is our traditional main campus. So any letterhead, any information will be always issued on Langley campus. Langley campus even have on-campus accommodation. So it is one of the largest campuses in Vancouver, 157 acres huge of site, and we have all the masters and bachelor courses are provided over there to all the students. They can stay on campus there. Students are allowed to work on campus as well, and it is one of the most beautiful campuses because we have a private lake which is at Langley campus, so that becomes an attraction for students during the summertime. And talking about Richmond campus, it is moreover a metro city campus preferred by master students, because understanding that master students, as in they look accommodation outside the campus because of their job, part-time jobs and everything, and so that they can at least make a balance out of their work and study life. So Richmond campus is preferred by master students, and again bachelor courses are provided on Langley campus along with the master courses, but on Richmond campus only master courses are provided.
So how many students are there in Trinity in both the campuses?
We have right now more than 5,000 students at including both the campuses, because we have our English language center as well.
Great. And you must be covering so many countries for both the campuses. So students from how many countries are studying in Trinity?
There is a good ratio of diversity at TW. I would say that Indian students are there. I will just go through the list of countries that we are accepting applications right now. There are Nigerian students. There are students from South African countries. Then we have onshore applicants are again there. Then we have students from Bangladesh, Nepal, Sri Lanka, which are very much high in demand, as in we have a lot of applications coming from there. Then we have students from Dubai, Philippines, and we have Vietnamese students as well. So it makes a like different type of diversity for all the students at TWU.
Coming to the master degrees, what kind of master degree options are available in Trinity?
So we have quite good number of master's courses. We provide MBA program, which includes different type of streams as well. Then we focus on leadership course, which is entirely for leadership students. ME leadership education is there, ME leadership business, ME leadership healthcare is there. So these are the three, again, different courses entirely focusing on their different streams. Then we have MES program, which is more over focused for teaching professionals who are looking for teaching careers. And this particular course is one of my favorites because it focuses on special education. So after completing this course, a student can start and work as a special educator in Canada. Then we have MAIH, MA in linguistics, MA in biblical studies are there because we have students from Philippines, as in Nepal or Sri Lanka, and students from there, they might want to do biblical study. So for them, we have these courses as well.
So there is complete range of master degree options. What is the tuition fee for MBA program? Because it is one of the prominent programs which usually people want to take on master's level. And what is the program with the lowest tuition fee for masters?
So all the master's program are of 2 years with 3 years of postgraduate work permit. And for MBA program, the fee structure lies between $39,000 to $40,000. Moving on with ME leadership program with all the 3 different streams: healthcare, business, and education. For the entire 2-year course, it is $27,000 to $28,000. Then we have MES for entire 2 years. Program fees is approximately $24,000 to $25,000. Then we have MAIH, which is $22,000. Then the lowest is MA in linguistics, which is $19,000 to $20,000.
And humanities, MAIH, I guess.
Yes.
Humanities, the cost is $22,000. So this is one of the cheapest masters.
So it has 3 different streams again: English, history, and sociology is there. So student can choose any of the streams as per their program they have completed in their bachelor's. Then any of the art students can come and opt for this course. So these are the generic fields.
And who can go for linguistics program?
Any student who wants to do, as in a linguistics course, English literature, if they want to have, or they want to do, if they want to study Mandarin or any of the other languages, they can opt for this course.
So there the fee is around $20,000. It is again
$19,000 to $20,000.
I have done most of the admissions in MA leadership program. So it has 3 streams: business, healthcare, and education. So there, if someone wants to go for MBA, so the cheaper alternate can be MA in leadership with business specialization.
Yes.
It is more of kind of an MBA degree because it is having business as the specialization. Again, it is a master degree and it gives 3 years of PG work permit. It makes people eligible for spouse upon work permit as well. So everything is same like MBA. So why particularly MBA? Why to go for MBA where the fee is approximately $10,000 more than MA leadership program?
It is completely upon the students' interest whether they want to do MBA. But I personally believe in terms of finances and in terms of future opportunities as well, I personally recommend my students to, if possible, they can opt for ME leadership business program. So for MBA, first of all, it is very much high in demand. Every other student is right now going for MBA program. So if I am going to do MBA, how will I make a difference in my career? How will someone, if I'm going to apply for a job, how is the employer going to see me as a different candidate? What I can put differently on the table? So that's why I say go for ME leadership program, because it covers A to Z about the management system. For MBA, you are going to study supposedly international business. So for those 2 years where you will be going through international business only. But if you're going to do ME leadership business, how A to Z, the entire aspect of a business, that will be taught to you. Working separately, it will focus on your personal development as well. Your professional development will be covered in that ME leadership business program. And then talking about project management is included there. Management skills will be taught to you. How you need to handle out operations, how you need to do marketing. Every aspect of a business is covered in ME leadership business. That's why we say once you are done with this course, you will become a leader of your particular field. Whichever field you are going to go, you will be seen as a leader, not as in a fresher in your field, but you will have all the knowledge. That's why in terms of fees as well, I say if possible, the student should go for ME leadership business.
Great. And there are 2 specializations. One is education and healthcare. Business specialization, I know that everyone can go. For education specialization and healthcare, do we require the education in education field or healthcare field? Or experience can also work to get admission. So how to get admission in education and health specialization?
So admission is entirely based upon academic. So any student going for ME leadership education, they must need to have a BA degree. And other than that, any student going for ME leadership healthcare, they need to have any bachelor's degree, something related to the healthcare sector only. BSc, MSc student can apply for that. Any student going for, if they have done homeopathy, if they have done dentistry, if they have done any of the medical streams, graduation, they can apply for it. And if they have experience in their particular field, that will be a plus on, but not entirely and expect to cover the eligibility for the leadership program.
So academic background is required to get admission in education and
Yes.
healthcare specialization. Otherwise, everyone can go for business specialization. Okay, so tuition fee we have covered. What is the eligibility criteria to get admission in all these master's degrees?
So master's degree, academic eligibility criteria for all the master's degrees, 70% in their bachelor's. So any student who have academic percentage till 68, we can try and accommodate the student. But 70%, that is equivalent to 3 GPA, is mandatory to be there.
And how many intakes are available for all these master's degrees?
So we have 3 intakes, that is January, May, and September. So all these 3 intakes are available for master's degree.
And do you accept 3 year of bachelor degree for admission?
Yes, we do.
And is there any like NAC requirement that is 3 year of bachelor's is going to be from a NAC aggregated university? Then only they can get admission, or any 3 year of bachelor degree will be accepted?
Any 3 years of bachelor's degree can be accepted.
And do you accept BA arts as well for admission, or you just require commerce, non-medical, medical?
No, we accept BA arts.
And do you give admission in masters after a master degree? For example, if someone has done master of technology or a master of science, can you still give him admission in master of education or master of linguistic or any other master degree?
Any student, supposedly, if they have done MBA degree, they cannot apply for an MBA degree again at TWU, but yes, they can apply for MA leadership business. Similarly, if a student has, supposedly they have done MSc, then they can apply for MA leadership healthcare, but they cannot go for the same degree. They need to change the stream that they are going for.
So if the master is not getting repeated, in that case, yes, we can get admission.
Yes, we can.
And what is the English test requirement for admission?
So we accept 4 different exams, which is IELTS, PT, Duolingo, and TOEFL. So all these have different requirements. For IELTS, the student needs to have 7 overall, where the reading and writing should be 6.5 and listening and speaking should be 6. And then in Duolingo, the student needs to have 130 overall. And for TOEFL, the student needs to have 100 plus, and for PT, 65 plus should be there for overall scores. Then we have individual band requirements as well.
And how much gap is accepted? So what is the highest age to get admission?
So first of all, I would suggest that gap is something that we can justify to the visa officers at the time of visa applications. But TW don't intend to, as in, reject application based upon gap of the student's academics. So bachelor's, if the student has a gap of at least 3 to 4 years, we can try and accommodate the student, because we have a gap form wherein the student can justify their academic gap over there. But talking about master's students, there is any student who is supposedly working after their graduation, they have started working. So we don't consider that as a gap, and they can apply it. If they have gap of 6 to 7 years, we can at least as in clarify that in the visa application that, okay, I was working at that duration, and that won't be considered as a gap.
But is there any bar on age that after this age students cannot get admission?
For Indian students, it is 35, and for other countries, they can apply till 48.
We have also got visas at age 51, 55 as well. So
Yes, we do.
So are you going to stop admissions if the age is on higher side, or there is no problem in getting admission?
No. You can send in the applications if the age is higher than 35. No problem with that. We'll do the pre-assessment. Everything will be done. And if the profile is not fitting, then we'll have a word with the counselor or the agent regarding that. And if the profile is quite good, then we'll process it for the application. But yes, again, just for general knowledge, 35 for Indian students, because after that, student might get a visa rejection. We need to take in consideration the visa rates as well. For that, 35-40 is the limit. But if the counselor thinks that they have a very strong profile where they can get a visa approval, then you can surely send in the applications.
Is there any issue with the backlogs in bachelor's degree for admission?
No. Until and unless the student has a backlog clearance certificate, we will process the application.
Is there any interview process to give admission to the student?
No, that is completely upon pre-assessments of the applications.
So during the processing of the application, do we require to send WES or transcripts directly from the university in India or in the home country to the destination country, to Canada, to Trinity? Is it required or not?
During the time of before the offer letter is issued?
Before offer letter, after offer letter, anytime do we require to send transcripts or WES to Trinity?
So WES is not a mandatory document that the student needs to submit, but yes, if they have, they can provide it. Their admission application in process, they can submit it at that point of time. Talking about the transcripts, yes, before the student is in Canada, till that time, they have time to submit their official documents. They need to send their as in transcripts from your previous institution to TWU for verifications. But other than that, it is not mandatory that the student needs to send their official transcripts before their offer letter is issued. No, they can process their visa application before going to Canada. They need to submit it at that duration. So that's a generic condition which majorly every university provides their students.
And there is a foundation program in Trinity Western University. Some students get it, and the fee is around $9,000. What is that foundation program, and why is it there with Trinity?
We have an English foundation course, which is TLC, which stands for Trinity Language Center. So this particular program is given to students who has not met the English entry requirements for TWU. So supposedly there is a student is going for MBA program, and our direct entry requirement is 7 overall, and the student has not met that requirement. So they will be placed under TLC PGS level 2, which is a 15 weeks of course, which will cost around $9,000 because the student is not meeting the English requirements. So to maintain that balance, and the student needs to do that particular course. That's a as in foundation course that is given to the student. But yes, we understand that finances are really important. So if any student before going to Canada, they want to as in remove TLC from their offer letter, they can provide us a revised scorecard with meeting the direct entry requirements, and then on that basis we will remove TLC if the student doesn't want to proceed with TLC program.
But if student registers for TLC and later on submits the test, so can the student still be able to remove this requirement of TLC from the offer letter?
After the student gets their visa, there is a procedure of student portal login that the student needs to do, course registration. So at that time, if the student is proceeding with TLC, if they have TLC, they'll get a contract from TLC team. So in that contract, it is written, if you want to cancel TLC, if you want to remove TLC, you have time of 7 days. So that everything is mentioned in that contract. So after that certain period is over, they cannot remove TLC, then the student needs to do TLC. That's why we say that before filing visa, if any student wants to remove TLC, they can provide us a revised scorecard.
In how many months the entire master degree is going to be completed? For example, in many universities, 2 years of masters is completed in 16 months. So how many months students will have to study to complete their masters?
18 to 20 months.
And is there any co-op in the masters as well, or there is no co-op in masters?
No co-op is not included.
What is the application fee for the admission?
So there are two different type of fees, which is non-refundable. First is application fees, which is $150, and the second one is evaluation fees, which is $140. So if in case application fees is mandatory for the student to pay, if in case there is any student who already hold course by course evaluation report, not a degree evaluation, but a course by course evaluation report, they can submit that report and they do not need to pay the 140 CAD. But if they do not have a best evaluation report, then 290 is the application fees for master student that they need to pay.
150 is not the fee, because right now I guess we are paying $150 for most of the students. So we have to pay $290 from now onwards. Is it changed recently, or?
No, actually we have a marathon. So basically TW holds an admission marathon every alternative month. That's a 5 days of waiver that we give to the student, where in that 5 days, if any student wants to apply during that 5 days and we receive an application, then they do not need to pay the application and evaluation fees. But for you guys have a waiver for evaluation fees.
Okay, so normally we can pay $150, and in marathon there is no application.
No application or evaluation fees needs.
When is going to be the next marathon?
We have just completed a marathon in September only. In October, we are going to have a dash event, which is a 2 days of marathon, which is, we can put it as mini marathon as well. So that will come after 20th of October. The dates are not yet decided. It will be a 2 days marathon. Again, the same benefits are there. The student needs to just as in process their application. They will get their offer letter within 2 to 3 weeks of processing the application. Fees will be needs to be paid. And again, the main marathon will come in November.
And what about the PALs after refusal? There are many universities who create issues to give the PAL again if student gets refusal. And right now from India, refusal rate is on higher side. So when students get refusal, then to reapply, they don't get PALs from the university. What is the criteria to give the PAL again to the student from Trinity? And is there any issue to get the PAL again and again after getting refusals?
Supposedly, if any student has faced their first visa rejection, they need only to provide the visa rejection letter and they can ask for a second PAL. The second PAL will be given to the student within 1 to 2 weeks. It will be issued again for the student and they can apply for their visa the second time. If again on the second visa application they get a visa refusal, then for the third time they need to go through border security. They need to submit their border security score needs to be submitted to the university. university. Once we receive the border security score, then only we can issue the third PAL for the student.
What is border security score? We did not do it for anyone, I guess, till now.
So border security is basically an IRCC related website wherein any student who has gotten 2 visa refusals, they need to get a pre-assessment done from border security. So there is a score that they give to the student after assessing the visa application. So the student's score needs to be above 50%, that okay, the visa approval rate is more than 50%, and after that only we'll be able to issue a PAL to the student.
But students can get multiple PALs if they are getting refusals of
Yes.
visa. And if someone submits the application and we do the pre-assessment for the student, and if it is confirmed in pre-assessment that student can get admission, is it the confirmation of the admission as well if it is cleared in pre-assessment?
Yes, that is a confirmation because pre-assessment is done by our international team only. And if the student is not eligible, they will let you know on the first go only. And if the student is eligible, so pre-assessment is done only. They have an idea that, okay, I'm eligible for this particular course, and then they can submit their applications. So you can say it is a pre-approval for their admission only.
In past, we faced problem with one or two students, I guess, where the pre-assessment was done and it was cleared as well. Later on, university did not issue the offer letter to the student. And a lot of time was lost during this entire process. So is it like assurance? How is it processed? Is it like, can we appeal for those kind of students if there is?
Yes, you can appeal for those kind of students because if you have done a pre-assessment and there was approval, eligibility is given to the student that okay, the student is eligible for that particular program, and we have processed the application, but later on the student got a denial. That might be because the application went to program director and the program director might have seen the application, the percentage or the work experience, the English test score. There might be any, as in any particular point that the program director would have said that, okay, the student is not a perfect fit for that particular class or for that particular program. On that basis, if the student wants, they can appeal for their, as in re-evaluation, they can appeal. And once that is done, they might get a visa, they might get a approval for their offer letter, or again the denial can be shared. So basically every profile goes through the program director's review before issuing an offer letter.
What is the TAT, turnaround time for the entire process once we submit the application and till we get a final letter of acceptance and PAL, everything? So how much time it takes in this process?
So there are two different type of application procedures at TWU. One is regular and the other one is marathon. For regular application, once a complete application is received, the student needs to wait for 1 to 2 weeks for the app ID. Once the app ID is issued, then their student needs to pay the application or evaluation fees, whichever the student is program, bachelor's or master's, accordingly to that, student needs to pay that. Once the student has paid that, it will take 3 to 4 weeks for the offer letter to be issued. Once that is done, there is a 30 days of deadline given to the student to make the tuition deposit. Once the student has made the tuition deposit, it will take 1 to 2 weeks for the LOA and PAL, because without PAL, we cannot issue an LOA. So the turnaround time for LOA previously was 72 hours, but because of PAL has been introduced, now it has increased to 1 to 2 weeks because PAL needs to come from the registrar and then only we can issue the LOA. So 1 to 2 weeks needs to be there, and the entire application procedure will be completed after LOA and PAL is issued. But it is entirely different from what we have for marathon students. Once an application is received in marathon, a complete application, we'll process it. Within 2 to 3 weeks, the student will directly get an offer letter because they have a waiver of 290 or 150 for bachelors and 290 for masters. They do not need to pay that. Within 2 to 3 weeks, they will get an offer letter. Again, 30 days of deadline will be given to the student. Once the payment is done, it will take 1 week for the LO and PAL to be issued for marathon student. If in case there is a backlog coming from registrar, it might go for 2 weeks, but not more than 2 weeks for LO and PAL for marathon students.
So in marathon, we save around 2 weeks of time for the generation of ID.
Yeah, majorly 2 to 3 weeks of time.
And does university help in getting part-time jobs and full-time job after the completion of study, during the study? Is there any department like that in the university?
Yes, we have student counseling center at TWU wherein the student can submit their resumes for job options on campus. So basically there is a student connect center as well. There are counselors there. if there is any student who doesn't hold any working experience and they want to build their resume, so Connect Center will help the student build their resume, search for part-time job for the student.
And what is the visa success rate of Trinity Western University right now in current scenario from India?
I would say it is approximately 65 to 70% is the visa approval rate till now.
Okay, and what about deferments? If someone doesn't get visa on time or result is delayed or it is refused, in that case, what is the process of deferment in that case? Is it possible or not?
Yes, it is possible. So again, for our MBA program, because we have batches starting every month, so student doesn't need to worry that if their visa approval is delayed and they might lose their intake. Nothing to worry about that. If they are going for supposedly September 25th, if the student was going and their visa didn't came on time. So if supposedly the visa approval came in October 1st week, nothing to worry. They can go and start their classes in November, because again, for MBA program, we have classes starting every month. So that's a benefit that the student can get. For rest of our courses, yes, the student can defer. For ME leadership, right now from this year, we have started a cohort intake for ME leadership program. So for September students as well, we have a lot of students who got a visa approval after the classes were started. And till 20th of October, if the student gets a visa approval and the stamping is done, they can join the October batch.
And how many days the classes are there in Trinity for master's degree?
So it is entirely upon because we give an option to student to make their timetable with their program coordinator. So if there is a student who is going to do supposedly part-time job, and 3 to 4 days are maximum that the student needs to attend a class, but it is upon the student as well that they can choose early morning class or an evening class as well. But again, the student needs to complete, they need to make sure that they are completing the credits that are asked for that particular paper, or in that particular semester they are completing that. But other than that, 3 to 4 days are maximum that the student needs to attend the classes.
And what is the refund policy if student doesn't get visa, drop the plan, and what is going to be the refund policy in that case?
So for visa rejection, if a student is getting on that, 100% refund policy is there. There is a administration fees that will be deducted from the refund amount that will be given back to the student. But other than that, no amount will be deducted. If the student has paid supposedly $10,000, 100% refund will be given to the student on the basis of visa rejection, updated letter only. And if in case a student decides to withdraw, then that becomes an appeal case. If in case the student is withdrawing without any legitimate reason, then some of their tuition amount will be deducted.
Great, I am done with all of my questions. Is there anything which we missed in this session? You can share that.
I think we have covered everything. But again, talking about bachelors, we do have bachelor's program. We approximately have 40 plus courses at bachelor's program, and we have different fields at our bachelor's program as well. We have human kinetics. We have, as in psychology option is also there at our bachelor courses. Then we have BBA, gaming development, computer science. There are a lot of courses that a student can choose for bachelor's degree as well. And I don't think, I think we have, I didn't get a chance to talk about our MAES program, which I'll just take few minutes to cover that program. So that's again a 2 years course with 3 years of postgraduate work permit. It doesn't need a BEd degree. Any student who is looking for a teaching career or teaching profession. So first benefit that this program has is that it's not mandatory for the student to have a BEd degree. Without BEd, if they can apply for this course. Second option, if the student doesn't have a as in teaching experience, they can send in their applications. We will go through that, and if they have a teaching experience of at least 1 year, that will be a plus point for the student's profile. Other than that, any student completing this course can start their teaching career without any licensing exam. They can work as a private, as in teacher, child counselor, early childhood educator, or as a special educator in any of the private institutions in Canada. But if they're going to apply for any public institution, then licensing is important to be there. So why inclusive education? Why I took as in a separate time to talk about this course, because we know that there are children out there who might need a special attention from the teachers. A child might have development delays, or any kind of behavioral disorder might be there for the child, or they might be facing difficulties in reading or writing. So for that, a child needs a special educator, and Canada is promoting special educator jobs right now. So that's a perfect, I think, option for a student who is currently looking for a teaching profession or as a teacher or as a special educator to work in Canada right now.
So this Master of Inclusive Education degree, is it Master of Leadership Extension or a
No,
separate?
that's an entirely different course. Because for leadership education, B.Ed is mandatory and that includes management. This course is entirely for teaching professions only.
And any background students can come for that. It's not.
Any arts background student, if you have done as in arts, you have done, if you have done sociology, if you have done if the student even have done BSc MSc, they can apply for this course because that's an open course. Because after completing this, you'll become a special educator or as a teacher you can start, because BSc student in India as well, after completing their B.Ed, they can become a teacher in any of the private or public institutions. So similarly it is there.
And what is the tuition fee for this program?
This is it is approximately $23,000 to $24,000.
It is similar to humanities program.
Yeah, but it is slighter higher than in what MAIH is there.
Similar to means 20.
Almost
That
similar.
to I guess $22,000 to $23,000 are there for humanities.
Yes.
Correct? So if someone is going for there is one more program. It is Master of Education MEd started by Trinity. Is it still there?
No, we are not promoting that course because of IRCC. As in, so that MEd course is first of all, it was not open for international students. That's why we have MA Leadership Education option for international students.
Anything else which is left?
No, not from my end.
Great. Thank you so much, Mansi, for sharing all the insights about Trinity Western University and all the master's degree. And we hope to get many admissions to Trinity. And if there is any relaxation in terms of English language requirement or percentage requirement, in that case, we can get even more admissions because these two requirements are on higher side right now. 70% marks, 7 bands. So that is one thing that we need to look for. Yes, definitely we get quality students with that, but there are many students who are having a good experience, but they don't have really great academics. So for them, it becomes a problem to get admission in Trinity. Anyway, we always recommend Trinity to everyone whenever I make videos. So Trinity is always there in the list of my videos or the options I share. So we'll always keep promoting because Trinity is one of the good options we are having for admissions. So we are having all the options for spouse open work permit because it is a 2-year of master degree. All the master degrees are 2 years. So it is covering that part as well. So that is also great for Trinity. Thank you so much, Mansi, for sharing everything. And we hope to connect again for any other video, for any other session. And thank you so much for this particular session.
Thank you so much, sir, for having me.
So if you also want to apply for your Canada study visa and want to go for Trinity Western University, in that case, you can ping me on my WhatsApp number. I'd be happy to take care of your case. And if you want to know how you can get your Canada PR possible, in that case, you must watch this particular video. Thank you so much for watching this video till then. See you in next video.